Listen up. Life is not about sitting back, being nice, and waiting for things to come to you. Too many people think if they just play it safe, be polite, and avoid confrontation, success will magically land in their lap. Wrong. Nice gets you overlooked. Nice gets you taken advantage of. Nice keeps you stuck. It's time to stop being just nice and start being bold, confident, and unstoppable. If all you do is be nice, people will walk all over you. The truth is, the world does not reward those who simply try to be agreeable all the time. It rewards those who are strong, assertive, and willing to take charge. Being nice by itself is not enough. It may make people like you, but it won't make them respect you. And without respect, you'll always find yourself in situations where people take advantage of your kindness, overlook your efforts, and undervalue your contribution. The problem with being overly nice is that it often leads to people prioritizing the needs and wants of others over their own. They don't want to upset anyone, so they stay quiet when they should speak up. They don't want to cause conflict, so they accept situations they shouldn't tolerate. They don't want to be seen as difficult, so they do things they don't want to do just to keep the peace. Over time, this pattern creates frustration, resentment, and a sense of being stuck in life. Nice people often assume that if they are good to others, others will naturally be good to them. But life doesn't work that way. Being kind is a great quality, but it must be paired with strength. If you only focus on being liked, you will constantly find yourself at the mercy of other people's demands. People will take from you without giving anything in return. They will assume you're okay with doing extra work because you never say no. They will overlook you for promotions because you never stand up and make your presence known. The reality is that people respect those who stand their ground. Being assertive doesn't mean being rude or aggressive. It means knowing your worth and not allowing yourself to be pushed around. It means setting boundaries and making sure people understand that you are not someone they can take advantage of. It means speaking up for yourself when necessary, making sure your voice is heard, and not being afraid to demand what you deserve. Think about it. Who gets ahead in life? It's not just the nicest person in the room. It's the person who knows how to take charge, command respect, and make things happen. You can be a good person and still stand up for yourself. You can be kind without being a pushover. You can be helpful without allowing people to drain you. Strength and kindness should go hand in hand. When they do, you become someone people admire, not just for being nice, but for being a leader. For example, imagine two employees at a company. One is always nice, always saying yes to extra work, always helping others, always putting in extra hours without complaint. The other is also a hard worker, but they know their limits. They help when they can, but they don't let others dump extra work on them. They make sure their contributions are recognized. When promotion time comes, who do you think will get ahead? The first person might be liked, but the second person is respected. And in the real world, respect leads to success. So if you find yourself constantly being overlooked or undervalued, ask yourself, are you being too nice at the cost of your own success? It's time to stop letting people take advantage of you. Start standing up for yourself, making your voice heard, and demanding what you deserve. Be kind, but be strong, because in the end, nice alone won't get you to the top. Strength and confidence will. Stop saying yes to everything just to make others happy. Too many people believe that being agreeable and always available will earn them respect and appreciation, but the truth is, it often leads to the opposite. When you fail to set boundaries, people assume they can take as much as they want from you without giving anything in return. If you don't respect your own time and energy, no one else will. When you say yes to everything, you end up spreading yourself too thin. You take on more responsibilities than you can handle, and eventually you start to feel exhausted and frustrated. But here's the thing. No one is going to come and tell you to take a break. No one is going to protect your time for you. That's your job. If you don't take control and set limits, people will continue to ask more and more of you until you have nothing left to give. The fear of saying no often comes from a desire to be liked. You don't want to disappoint people. You don't want them to think you're selfish. But here's the reality. When you constantly put others before yourself, you send a message that your own needs don't matter. And once people see that you're willing to sacrifice your own well-being for their convenience, they will take advantage of it, intentionally or not. Setting boundaries is not about being rude or difficult. It's about valuing yourself enough to protect your energy, your time, and your mental health. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to let others walk all over you. When you set clear boundaries, people may not always like it at first, but they will learn to respect you. And respect is far more valuable than approval. Imagine someone at work who always takes on extra tasks that aren't their responsibility. Whenever a coworker asks for help, they say yes, even if it means staying late or sacrificing their own workload. Over time, people start to expect them to always be available. They become the go-to person for everything, but when it comes time for promotions or recognition, they are overlooked. Why? Because they've trained everyone to see them as a helper, not as a leader. Meanwhile, another employee does their job well, but sets clear limits. They help when they can, but they also say no when needed. They make sure their time is valued. When a leadership position opens up, they are the first choice because they have established themselves as someone who knows how to manage responsibilities, not just take on extra work. The truth is, people don't respect those who always say yes. They respect those who know their limits and enforce them. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a person who values themselves. And when you start valuing yourself, others will too. So stop saying yes just to make others happy. Stop sacrificing your own well-being for the sake of keeping the peace. Set your boundary. Respect yourself first, because the moment you start demanding respect, the world will start giving it to you. Closed mouths don't get fed. If you want something in life, you have to speak up, claim it, and go after it with confidence. Too many people stay silent, hoping that someone will notice their hard work, their talent, or their potential. But the truth is, if you don't make your presence known, you will be overlooked. The world is not designed to hand out opportunities to those who wait quietly. It rewards those who step up, take initiative, and demand what they deserve. One of the biggest reasons people fail to speak up is fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being seen as pushy, or fear of stepping outside their comfort zone. But here's the reality. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't make your voice heard, no one will listen. Being nice and waiting your turn may seem like the right thing to do, but in reality, it often leads to missed opportunities and regret. You have to be bold enough to state what you want and go after it unapologetically. Speaking up for what you want is not about being arrogant or rude. It's about knowing your worth. It's about having the confidence to ask for that raise, apply for that promotion, or pitch your ideas. People who succeed in life are not necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who have the courage to ask for what they want and refuse to accept less. When you stay silent, you give others the power to decide your future. When you speak up, you take control of your own destiny. Think about this. Imagine there are two employees in a company. One is hardworking, always delivering excellent results, but they never ask for more responsibility or a higher salary. They assume that their work will speak for itself and that management will eventually recognize their value. The second employee also works hard, but they make sure their achievements are known. They ask for opportunities to take on new projects. They confidently discuss their career goals with their boss. And when they feel they deserve a raise, They request a meeting to discuss it. Now, when promotion time comes, who do you think will get ahead? The first employee may be doing great work, but they never spoke up. The second employee, on the other hand, made sure their ambitions were known. They asked, so they received. This principle applies to every aspect of life, whether it's negotiating your salary, standing up for yourself in a relationship, or sharing your ideas in a meeting. The people who get ahead are the ones who are willing to ask for what they want. Staying silent and hoping someone will notice you is a losing strategy. If you believe you deserve more, say it. If you have a dream, declare it. If you see an opportunity, go after it with confidence. It's time to stop holding back. Stop waiting for permission. Stop assuming that being quiet will get you anywhere. Speak up, ask for what you want, and claim what is yours. The world listens to those who have the courage to make themselves heard. If you don't take control of your own success, someone else will. So step up, speak out, and go get what you deserve. Playing it safe will keep you exactly where you are. If you want success, you have to be willing to take risks. Too many people stay stuck in life because they are afraid of failure, rejection, or stepping outside their comfort zone. They settle for what feels safe and familiar, thinking that avoiding risk will protect them. But in reality, avoiding risk only guarantees that you never grow, never achieve more, and never reach your full potential. Success favors the bold. Every successful person you admire took a risk at some point. They didn't wait for the perfect moment or for someone to hand them an opportunity. They stepped into the unknown, knowing that failure was a possibility, but refusing to let fear hold them back. Because here's the truth. Failure is not the enemy. The real enemy is staying in the same place, never trying, and never knowing what you could have achieved if you had just taken the leap. People often convince themselves that playing it safe is the smart choice. They stay in jobs they don't like because they're afraid of starting over. They hold back from launching a business because they fear it might fail. They avoid speaking up because they don't want to look foolish. But what they don't realize is that by avoiding risk, they are also avoiding growth, opportunity, and the life they truly want. Taking risks doesn't mean being reckless. It means being willing to step into the unknown with faith, preparation, and determination. It means understanding that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone. Every failure teaches a lesson. Every mistake brings experience, and every setback builds strength. The most successful people in the world have failed many times, but what sets them apart is that they kept going. They took risks, learned from their failures, and used them to propel themselves forward. Imagine an aspiring entrepreneur who dreams of starting their own business, but is afraid to leave their steady paycheck. They keep telling themselves, one day, when I have more money saved, when the timing is better, when I feel more ready. Years go by and they're still in the same place, watching others take risks and succeed while they remain stuck. Meanwhile, someone else with the same dream decides to take a calculated risk. They start small, learn along the way, and push through failures. Eventually, their business grows, and they achieve the success they were willing to risk everything for. The difference between these two people is not talent or intelligence, it's the willingness to take a chance. The person who waited for the right time never got started. The person who took a risk and learned from their mistakes created their own success. That's how life works. If you wait until you feel 100% ready, you'll wait forever. So stop letting fear dictate your life. Stop playing small because you're afraid of what might go wrong. The truth is, things might go wrong, but they might also go incredibly right. And you'll never know unless you try. Take the leap, embrace the challenge, and understand that failure is just part of the journey. The only real failure is never trying at all. At the end of your life, you won't regret the risks you took, you'll regret the ones you didn't. The opportunities you let pass, the dreams you didn't chase, the potential you never realized because you were too afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Don't let that be your story. Bet on yourself, take the risks, and go after the life you truly want, because success belongs to those who are brave enough to chase it. Not everyone will like you, and that's okay. Too many people waste their lives trying to please everyone, afraid of being judged, criticized, or disliked. But the hard truth is this: no matter what you do, there will always be someone who doesn't approve. There will always be people who have something negative to say, no matter how good, kind, or hardworking you are. If you live your life seeking constant approval, you will never be truly happy, and you will never reach your full potential. Trying to please everyone is a losing game. You end up bending over backward for people who may never appreciate you. You say yes when you want to say no. You hold back your opinions to avoid offending anyone. You stay in situations that don't serve you just to keep the peace. But at the end of the day, the more you try to make everyone happy, the more you lose yourself. You can't be everything to everyone, and the sooner you accept that, the sooner you will find real freedom. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who try to be liked by everyone. They are the ones who focus on being respected. Respect comes from standing your ground, speaking your truth, and living by your values even when others don't agree. It comes from knowing your worth and refusing to let other people's opinions control your decisions. When you chase approval, you give people power over you. But when you choose self-respect over approval, you take that power back. Being respected doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. It means having the confidence to be yourself without constantly worrying about what others think. It means being kind but firm, open-minded but strong in your beliefs. It means knowing that your time, energy, and happiness matter just as much as anyone else's. And most importantly, it means understanding that you don't need everyone to like you in order to be successful, happy, or fulfilled. Think about the most successful people in the world: leaders, innovators, and visionaries. Were they universally liked? No, in fact, many of them faced criticism, doubt, and opposition every step of the way. But did they let that stop them? Absolutely not. They stayed focused on their goals, stayed true to their vision, and didn't waste time trying to please everyone. That's what separates leaders from followers. Imagine a young woman who dreams of starting her own business. Her family tells her it's too risky. Her friends question if she has what it takes. Some people even laugh at her ambition. If she were focused on gaining their approval, she might give up before she even starts. But instead of seeking validation, she chooses to believe in herself. She works hard, ignores the negativity, and builds something great. And in the end, many of the same people who doubted her will be the ones admiring her success. This is how life works. The moment you stop worrying about being liked and start focusing on being respected, everything changes. You stop wasting energy on people who don't matter. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into someone else's expectations. You stop waiting for permission to live the life you want. So ask yourself, are you living for yourself, or are you living for the approval of others? Because the truth is, no matter what you do, someone will always have an opinion. But their opinion doesn't pay your bills. It doesn't build your future. It doesn't define your worth. Only you can do that. Stop chasing approval. Start commanding respect. Be true to yourself. Stand firm in your beliefs. And never let the fear of being disliked stop you from becoming the person you were meant to be. Because in the end, respect will take you places that approval never will. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Too many people settle into a routine that feels safe and familiar, thinking that as long as things aren't terrible, they don't need to change. But staying in your comfort zone will keep you stuck. It might feel good in the short term, but in the long run, it limits you. Growth only happens when you challenge yourself, take risks, and push beyond what feels easy. People who stay comfortable never reach their full potential. They don't take on new challenges because they're afraid of failure. They don't try new things because they're scared of discomfort. They don't push themselves because they don't want to deal with the struggle that comes with growth. But here's the truth. Nothing great comes from staying the same. Every successful person you admire had to step into the unknown, face challenges, and push past their fears. Think about it. A person who never works out might feel comfortable sitting on the couch, but their body will never get stronger. A person who never speaks up in meetings might feel safe, but they'll never get noticed or promoted. A person who never takes risks in life might avoid failure, but they'll also avoid success. Comfort keeps you where you are. Discomfort is the price you pay for growth. The reason people avoid stepping outside their comfort zone is fear. Fear of failing, fear of looking foolish, fear of struggling. But struggle is part of the process. It's how you get better, stronger, and wiser. Every time you do something that scares you, you grow. Every time you push past resistance, you become tougher. Every time you take on a challenge, you move closer to success. Let's say there's a man who has worked the same job for 10 years. He's good at it and it pays the bills, but he's not happy. He knows he's capable of more, but the idea of switching careers, learning new skills, or starting over scares him. So he stays where he is year after year, waiting for things to change. But nothing changes because he never steps out of his comfort zone. Meanwhile, another person in the same situation decides to take a risk. They learn new skills, apply for new jobs, and put themselves in uncomfortable situations. It's hard at first, but eventually they find a better opportunity and a more fulfilling life. The difference? One person embraced discomfort and the other avoided it. This is how life works. If you only do what feels comfortable, you will never grow. You will never become the person you were meant to be. The people who achieve great things in life are not the ones who stay comfortable. They're the ones who embrace discomfort, take risks, and push through the hard times. So ask yourself, are you playing it safe because it's comfortable? Are you avoiding challenges because they feel difficult? Are you staying where you are because you're afraid of what might happen if you step into something new? If so, it's time to wake up. Staying comfortable might feel good now, but in 5 years, you'll look back and realize that you've wasted time, missed opportunities, and stayed stuck when you could have been growing. Discomfort is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. It's the key to becoming stronger, wiser, and more successful. The moment you start leaning into challenges instead of avoiding them, you will unlock a new level of growth. You will start to see changes in your life, your career, and your mindset. Stop letting comfort hold you back. Step into the challenge. Take the risk. Push yourself beyond what feels easy, because everything you want, the success, the growth, the opportunities, it's all waiting for you on the other side of your comfort zone. It's time to wake up. Stop waiting for life to be fair. Stop expecting success to just fall in your lap because you're nice. If you want to win, you have to be bold, relentless, and unstoppable. Stand up for yourself. Chase your dreams with fire. Speak with power. Move with confidence. The world belongs to those who refuse to settle. So go out there and take what's yours.